So you're thinking of moving to London, but you're not sure where to live. Well, today is your lucky day, because in this video I'm going to be giving you guidelines and tips on how to find the best place to live in London. Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Siri, and on my channel I share with you everything about my London lifestyle and give you some tips on how you can easily integrate and enjoy this great city of London. So if these are contents or these are things that you're interested in, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and then let's get into this video. In this video, I'm going to cover two things. In the first part, I'm going to be taking you through the guidelines or giving you tips or questions you need to answer in order for you to secure the right location to rent. And in the second part, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 areas to live in London. London is a very large city, and it is made up of 4 main regions: north, south, east, and west. And also we've got some sub-regions, which is a function of the location, which we have northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, and of course the core, central London, which is where you have all of your touristic stuff like the Big Ben and the London Eye. Aside from this categorization, London can also be categorized into zones, and that means travel zones. The core being zone 1, and the farther out you go, zone 1s to 6. I consider anything outside 6 like Greater London. So for the sake of this video, let's just say London divided into 6 zones, and it increases outwards, and the farther out you go, the cheaper the houses. So have that in mind. The very first thing I want to let you know right off the top is I cannot tell you where to live. Nobody can tell you where to live. It's all going to boil down to 3 things, okay? The first being your budget, second being your lifestyle, and third, your preferences. I think once you have all 3 covered, then you'll be able to define where in London you want to live. The money you have in your bank account will basically determine where you're going to be able to live in London. As many of us would like to live in central London. However, this is not going to be everyone's reality, because central London houses are actually the most expensive, and then even the areas around it, which I've tagged as zone 2, zone 3, they also tend to be pricey. But even amidst zone 2 and zone 3, you may be able to find some cheaper areas around. There's this map that you can actually use to see what the pricing around these regions are like. So if you have a whole lot of money, then of course you may want to look at living in central London, which is amazing, really lovely. Or if you have a little less money, then you may want to live a little bit further out. The second thing you want to consider is, what do you want the place to be like, and what amenities do you want to be around? There is, how easy is it for me to get like my local groceries, or what type of supermarkets do they have around? Do they have like just the very expensive ones? If you're trying to live on a budget, that might be a little bit annoying for you. But a quick tip for you is, if for example you would like to shop let's say Tesco or Asda, you can actually shop online and have them delivered your groceries to you weekly if you don't have that in your environment. If you're the kind of person that's a hipster, you're a happy-go-lucky person, you might want to live in places like Camden, which is very hip, or Hackney Wick. If you're a kind of person that likes a lot of greenery, you want parks for your kids to play, or you're the kind of person that likes taking walks in the evenings, some really cool places. Richmond, I highly recommend Richmond. I heart Richmond. Putney is a great area. Very lovely and quiet. If you're the kind of person that you're young, you're vibrant, you want a lot of activity happening Clapham is for you. I really like Clapham Junction. Shepherd's Bush is also very cool. Hammersmith, those are very hip and happening areas that you may want to consider moving to. And the good thing is that most of these places that I'm actually mentioning are not in central London, but you can easily get into central London within 30 minutes at the maximum. A very significant question that you want to ask yourself is, where do I want to live in terms of proximity to work or proximity to friends? The reason why I'm saying this is because if you're going to be moving to London for work, chances are your place of work is going to be in central London. In some cases, it might be outside of London, which was my case. And because I'm young and I really wanted to enjoy the city, I decided to live a little bit more central just so that I could go out during the weekends or even after work. In terms of proximity to maybe friends or family, my far might not be that far for you. So this boils down to your commute time. How much time do you want to spend taking the train or taking the public transport or even driving from central London to your place of work, if your place of work is outside London and you choose to live in central London, or from wherever you decide to be based? The rule of thumb for me basically is, wherever you live, you shouldn't be commuting more than 1 hour to anywhere. Outside of that, I feel like you're just basically traveling and it is too much. Plus, the further out you go, the more expensive the cost of transportation is going to be. Try to live as close as you can to the line that you're going to be taking. So if your commute to work requires that you're going to be taking the tube, the central line, or the Piccadilly line, then live along that line. Look for areas along that line, as opposed to going to live somewhere where you have only the circle line and then you trying to connect. It's just a whole mess, okay? Oh my god, guys, safety is very important. You don't want to go and live in an area that they'll be reenacting Top Boy, you know, stabbing somebody on their way back home. So just put that in mind. Wherever you decide to live, make sure you search, you find out about the security of that area. What is the crime rate? There's this website where you can actually check it. It's going to be in the description box. Make sure you check it out to be sure that that area is safe, okay? One quick tip I'm going to leave you with is, if you go on the Spareroom app, they've got like a housing wizard where you can actually go in and put in most of your preferences. Say you want green areas, parks, and you want a shorter commute time of say 30 minutes, and what station you want your destination is. Once you key in all of those elements, it would actually bring out your options. You can also put in your budget and the type of house that you want, if it's flashier, if it's a one bed, or if you're just looking for a larger property. Everything is going to come out. I really recommend this Spareroom wizard. It is very good. The very first and best place for me so far, and this was actually the place where I lived when I first moved to London, is Fulham. I love Fulham. Another area that I absolutely love, and that's actually the second place that I lived, is Chiswick. Chiswick is actually very residential, very quiet, very safe. Around Chiswick, we've also got Acton. Acton is very nice. By the way, this area's Acton and Chiswick, they're actually in West London. Kew Gardens, or rather Kew. Oh, beautiful area. This is also southwest London. I already mentioned Clapham Junction or Clapham Common. Clapham area in general is really nice and it's very good for young professionals. If you're looking for more greenery, another place that you might totally enjoy, and I mentioned it earlier in the video, is Richmond. Richmond for me is actually like the best place to live, just because it has got great transport links, meaning you've got the overground, you've got the train, you've got the tube, so you can easily get into central London rather quickly. The only thing is, even though Richmond is in zone 4, it is kind of expensive. I'm not even going to lie, it is a little bit expensive. If you don't mind moving just a little bit further out, then Twickenham area is also good. it's just a little bit boring. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, I haven't lived in mainly like north and east London. Most of the areas I've lived in is mostly southwest. So that's why my recommendation is kind of like this. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, guys, which areas are your favorite areas to live in London so far. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share and subscribe, and until my next one,